Well, good morning. This is Dr. Bill Williams. Happy Wednesday to you guys. I want to bring on a friend of mine to the Influencers podcast. No stranger to me, been knowing this guest that's going to be introduced for at least 5 years now. So I want to have a special welcome to Maureen Hayes, MD. Dr. Hayes is part of the Your Wellness MD, and here she is. Come out of the green room and join us, Maureen.
Hey, Bill, thank you so much for having me. It's so good to see you and so great to be a part of this. So, yeah, it's exciting. I guess we have known each other for about 5 years now, and you've been a big influence in my life. So I imagine you have been for many others as well. So thank you.
Oh yeah, it's really good to connect back with you. You've been an influencer in my life, actually, so it's perfect that you're on the Influencers podcast, which we bring interesting people to meet our sphere of influence, and hopefully all of your sphere of influence will learn about what we're doing, and it'll be an exchange of good ideas. So let's get started with where were you, what happened, and who are you surrounded by that got you started in all of what you're doing today?
That's a great question. First, I am a physician. I'm an anesthesiologist and pain specialist, as you know. Have been a physician for 34 years now. It's hard to believe. And I live now in Galveston, Texas, although I'm originally from the East Coast. But, if you look at your life as a journey, there are different people that pop into your life along the way who have great influence over you, kind of determine where you're going to go. Now, evidently, when I was very small, my doctor, my pediatrician, was a female. So even at the age of like 4 and 5, I had the idea that girls could be doctors. And that's what I really wanted to be. Her name was Rosina, Dr. Rosina Rotella, I believe. And, we knew her. I was familiar with her. I played doctor. I didn't want to be a nurse. Not that there's anything wrong with being a nurse, but I was very goal-oriented and focused on being a doctor. I was fortunate that I had parents who had started with sort of meager beginnings, but through education and hard work got to where they wanted to be. And I loved what my mother said. She said, you can do anything you want to in life if you want it bad enough, if you're willing to do the work. And I also love your saying, Dr. Bill, you always say, if somebody else has done it, then it's probably possible. And I
That's
have
right.
sort of grabbed onto that. And I love it because, so often we play smaller than we really should. But I had these great parents, a great family, a can do, get out there. Didn't matter how many times we fell down as long as we got back up. And so because of that, I was driven. No, we all have failures in life. And I did grow up in Atlanta. And so I started off at the University of Georgia. And happy hour was at noon. And I had but a chemistry class that was in the afternoon, which I never saw. So I went from being like a straight A student all through high school to getting a really bad grade in my chemistry class. But I didn't feel bad about it because I didn't show up. So I didn't really feel like I earned it.
Is that what we're talking about? Your greatest failure?
That's one of them. I do have a lot of greatest failures. Admittedly, the first time I applied to medical school, I didn't get in. Now, I had switched from University of Georgia to Emory University and worked full time while I went to college. So I had good grades, but maybe not great grades, not straight A's. And so I had to decide, is that really what I wanted? And it was. I really wanted to be a doctor. I couldn't kind of shake it. It was sort of a mission for me. So I went to the schools and I said, what do you want? What do I need to do to make myself a better applicant, so that you will accept me? And I did those things, and it included going back and retaking some classes that maybe I got a B in and they wanted it to be an A. And so I did that. So, when I'm telling other people about when you're trying to get what you want out of life, you have to know what you want, and you have to be very specific about it. And not only do you have to know what it is that you're trying to attain or you're trying to do, you have to know why you're doing it. It has to be important enough to you, just like my mom said, that you're willing to do what you need to do to get there, and you're willing to make the sacrifices that you need to. to get there. And it should be, we talk about your why, and it should be something very deep, very personal, something that could actually bring you to tears, kind of your life mission. Because if you said, I want to lose 50 pounds, okay, why? Well, I'd like to look better naked. Okay. Well, you know what? When you're out and there's cake and cookies and, all sorts of goodies calling your name, you might just decide it's just easier to turn off the lights and you'd look just fine naked, right? Nobody could see you anyway. So you have to have a real purpose for doing, know why you're doing it, what you're willing to sacrifice in order to get it. People fail because, number one, they listen to what other people say. You can't take, or at least for me, I do not take counsel from people who don't have what I want in life. The person who is going to get you out of the box is the one who's already climbed out themselves. And it's so easy to be brought down by people who have opinions but no real knowledge. And so you have to be careful. You have to, stay away from the people who are negative, who tell you you're going to fail. I remember when I said I worked full time when I was going to college before I went to medical school. And I worked as a pharmacy technician. And there were some other women, and they said to me, why do you want to go to medical school? You have to go to college. You go to college for 4 years, medical school for 4 years. Then you have to do a residency. That can take you another 8 years past college before you're even out there practicing. Who wants to do that? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be alive in 8 years, whether I go to medical school or not. And if I don't go to medical school, I might be here doing this same job in 8 years. And I'd rather throw myself off a bridge. And what was so funny is their faces just fell. 2 of them quit their jobs that week and went and found something else to do. So, if you think about it, like I said, you have to sacrifice. Don't listen to other people. Don't let other people steal your dreams. So that's number one. Number 2, don't compare yourself to other people. It's very, very hard to do. I'm competitive, so I do like to keep my eye on other people. But you know what? We're all on our own journey in life. We all have our own path to walk or run on. We have our own obstacles, challenges. Stay in your lane. Just be focused on your goal and don't worry about what other people are doing, because sometimes that can make you feel really bad about yourself. So that would be number 2. And number 3, when you commit to something, when you're really goal-oriented, you really want it, you know why you want it, be consistent and make good choices. People don't stay with things, and they give themselves permission to go off track all the time. But if you're really committed to your goal and you're consistent with what you do and you choose to follow that goal, is this decision going to get me closer to where I want to go, or is it going to take me off of the path? So be familiar with that.
That really leads us to the question that I wanted to ask you about next is what motivates you internally to succeed beyond what the average person does? Because you definitely have been an overachiever all your life.
Yeah, and I am self-motivated. Not everybody is, and we're all motivated. And listen, I can be a real sloth when it comes to certain things that, I don't really like to do. So find what you're passionate about. We're all passionate about something. And that goes back to that why. Why are you doing what you're doing? I've done a lot of it. I've invested a lot of myself, not only in my medical career, but in personal growth as well. I'm a huge believer in that. And I found out very early through doing some intensive work that my mission, the reason why I do the things that I do is, number one, I want to be significant. I want how I spend my life to have significance, to impact other people. And I want to share it. I'm not the kind of person who could become a billionaire and stay a billionaire. I would have to go out and share that wealth with other people. And so when I was finding out what my life purpose was, it was to inspire and motivate others to become enlightened millionaires. This was my terminology at the time, like 20 years ago. Enlightened millionaires to go out and be an army for good. Now, my medical career has been a journey as well, and it's led me to a company whose mission statement is to be a force for good in the world and to better people's lives. And that just resonates so much with me internally with what I want to do. And so because I want to be, and I like to do hard things, not everybody does. Some people, their heart is scaling Mount Everest. And I have a friend on the medical professionals board with me in our company who has climbed Mount Everest twice. That looks really hard. It's fascinating to me, but that's not my hard. My hard is doing what I need to do to impact the things that I'm most passionate about. And I have a lot of things. And so I don't want to play small, because if I play small, then I can't do the things that I want to do to help the people that I want to help. And that drives me. So
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Bill.
I
I'm
hear you.
reading it across the bottom, so I'm not even giving you the chance to.
Yeah, so as we move through into the lightning round, I really want you to give us some rock solid tips to go from where we are to where we need to be. And we'll start with the 3 success secrets that others can model from.
Um, and they're not sexy, guys. Consistency is key. That you need to do every day, even if it's just a little bit. Being consistent with moving towards your goals, whether it's in business, in exercise, and health and wellness. In anything you do, you have to be consistent. And most people kind of think, "Oh, I'm going to be a weekend warrior." That's not going to get you to where you want to go. You want to do the small things day in and day out, and make sure that you're, like I said, being consistent. Yeah, exactly. Another tip is get good habits. Consistency is a habit. You want to do the things, have a list of things that you do that are going to get you further along that path that I'm talking about. Know where it is that you're going to go. I said earlier, you have to know what you want. And that's a huge key to success. It sounds so simple, but a lot of people don't know what they want, and they don't know why they're doing the things that they're doing. And then my third is be a little bit selfish. And that may sound a little counterintuitive, but we're pulled in so many different directions. So you want to be selfish. You want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stay focused on your goal. Don't let other people interrupt you or pull you off track. So
I can see that one. People do that. They want you to come their way to do their thing. What about thinking about people buying from you? You have products and services, but why you?
hey, what a great question, Bill. And I love educating people. Our products, they're for health, and we actually have a way for people to do a side gig and make an income from it. That can be as a small enough to pay for your products, or what I like to say, a full time or big time. And I've been able to help a lot of people have great success. I've had incredible success, mostly because of my passion and my belief for what I'm doing and how I'm helping other people. I've pivoted out of medicine, where I was dealing mostly with sick people, to empowering people to take control of their own health with a very unique product and class of products that work on a cellular basis to help the body be at its best and to perform at its best. And it's 100% non-toxic, which I absolutely love, because after years of writing prescriptions, every single one coming with a black box or a warning on it, to have something that works with the body and is actually native to the body is huge for me. So to be on my team, I do expect, if you're going to build this and you want to impact a lot of people, I can encourage and motivate you and be a little bit of a drill sergeant too, because I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that you need to succeed. And then that option is up to you, whether or not you're going to follow that plan. So I'd love to work
So
with you. That's your goal.
once you have the people understand what you have to offer, who would that be? Who's the ideal client?
Well, there's two different categories there. There's people who want to have better health. Either they want to preserve where they are or perform better where they are, and so they want better health, or they want to continue with good health, and it's something that they're willing to invest in. We all want to be 90, 100 years old, but we don't want to be in wheelchairs and nursing homes. We want to be out there playing golf and traveling and hiking and doing all the fun things that we do when we're young. And so being able to preserve that is key. And so I really love and really enjoy working with people who value that. Not everybody does. But if you do, these are great products that we have here that can help everybody. They can help you look younger, feel stronger, live better. And then there's also those people who want to make an income by making a difference. And you can come here, and sky's the limit, Bill. There's people making gangster money here. And, that's great. It's just a sign of how many people that you've helped. So I love it for people to make a lot of money. Go help
I
more
like
people.
the idea of having gangster money. That's kind of intriguing. I don't know. But tell me, now that you know the gangster money is available, how do you find the people who want gangster money?
Well, you actually have to plant a flag, right? You got to let people know where to come. And there's a number of different ways to do it. There's the old-fashioned way of getting out there and meeting people and networking and picking up the phone and doing all those things. And that's great. And we do a lot of that because, it's really about caring for other people. But social media is huge. Whether it's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, any of those things where you're actually reaching people and finding the people who are looking for you. And in this day and age, that's a much faster way. And some of us who are kind of old school are learning new tricks because, it's adapt or die, right? You have to learn to change to reach out to new people. My son,
Yeah.
he won't pick up the phone. I have to text him. And I don't always get an answer to my texts either. It's just funny how the younger people communicate these days. It's very different from when I was growing up. So, yeah.
Yeah. So the gangster people, you can find them, and we assume everybody wants to be healthier. So you don't have to find people that want to be healthier, I hope. Let's talk about the products themselves. Give me a couple of examples of what you have, but we want to go through rapidly to get to your final questions.
Okay. Well, I should have brought them here and lined them up, but what we have is it's called redox signaling molecules. It's a new field of science. It's always been there, but it was just discovered. Thank you, Bill.
I
About
take these daily, so I'm kind of cheating.
that's right. You use all the products too. So, what it does is it replenishes. It's a bioreplenishment agent. People are familiar with things like bioidentical hormones. These are little tiny molecules, and I don't want to get too heavy into the science, but they're little tiny molecules that are easily absorbed. They go into the cells, they turn things on that cause a cascade or a domino effect through the body that allows the body to work better. So what we find is that athletic performance is better. People seem to heal faster. They have more energy, deeper sleep. They're just younger, healthier looking, healthier skin. And then we've gone on to have 3 more categories of that because of the redox molecules working so well. We came out with a skincare. We came out with a topical version that was originally made for wrinkles and skin texture and all. What people were finding was that they could apply it and was also getting rid of discomfort. So we tell people apply it 3 times in 5 minutes for something that's causing some distress or achiness. And a significant number of people get relief from that. So it's just incredible. So that's the topical. Then we have a whole skincare line because people want to look younger. And it's interesting to watch the people who've been using the products over a number of years get younger and younger and younger. Now you might be asking, how old am I? Like, are you 105 and you look pretty good? Well, I'm in my 60s and I'm not trying to look like I'm 40, but I would like to look good for 60. There's a lot of people who are my contemporaries who look a lot older than I do. And so I'm really pretty happy, with the way these products work. And it's not just about how you look, it's how you feel. And I'd much rather have a young looking liver than a young looking face. And I'm hoping for that too, So we have those products. Then we have nutritional products, everything from whole food supplements that have superfoods in them and marine proteins in them, enzymes so that you can fully absorb them. Also an omega product that has not just 3, but 5 and 9 in it. That's for your joints, for your heart, for your hair and nails. It's incredible. And then a product called Biome that's for your gut because your gut health is incredibly important. It's your second brain. And so this has 16 different strains of bacteria, but in a fairly small units. They're still in the billions, but it's a small enough amount that it's not going to cause you to have gastric distress or bloating, anything like that. And it also has slippery elm in it, so it keeps it in the gut. People say that this product, you wouldn't believe how many people have gut issues and intestinal issues, and they say this product is life-changing. And then we have one called Life Max that really addresses all of the things that we deal with as we get older. So it's for longevity, which we all want, and vitality. So we have a lot of athletes that use it. So it has things that are pretty common, like green tea and broccoli seed extract and turmeric and all. But then it has some pretty complicated, like Chinese medicine ingredients, like 5 different types of medicinal mushrooms and kologotu, and hyaluronic acid, and things like that that work to just help your body be younger. And so it fights things that we deal with, like vision changes, cognitive changes, even things like diabetes and cancer that older people have a tendency to get more than younger people. And then we just recently came out with the cell performance products that fight every what we've all been dealing with for the last couple of years: brain fog, fatigue, and distress, like overwhelm and depression. And so they're called energy. So that gives you kind of an awake feeling. Then there's mind, which sharpens your cognition, and mood, which has things, adaptogens that just sort of calm you down, like ashwagandha and GABA, and just kind of make you feel better able to cope with everything. So just incredible. Now the redox products, they go into the body and they work where the body feels like they need to go. The cell performance products are targeted. So if you're working with the mind, with brain, cognition, memory, you're going to go with mind. If you want to elevate your mood, you go with mood. If you need to wake up a little bit more energy, you go with energy. So, and a combination of everything together really works synergistically and very well. So thank you. Thanks for letting me take a little time and talk about those.
That was a trip down memory lane because I've been taking all of those for 5 years, and I tell you the truth, Maureen. I have people tell me all the time I don't look 72 years old, and so I take that as a compliment that the healthy longevity secrets that are part of the formula are working. So thanks for introducing me to it, because you're actually the person responsible for me being in this. I know.
Well, absolutely. Excuse me, I always tell people it seems like magic, but it's just physiology. We're just, people are familiar with biohacks, and this is a biohack. We're giving your body something that it normally produces itself. But, if you're under stress or if you're getting older, and of course, we want to get older, um, yeah, you take this and it's going to help you function better. Now, if you're already young, and we have a ton of younger people, because you know what? Everybody today wants to stay at their peak performance. They want to prevent things from coming down the road. And it's, really, it's so important because we are exposed to so many more toxins in 15 minutes than our grandparents had, like in months. So, your body is in a constant fight, and you may think that you are perfectly healthy right now. And, most people do until they get a bad diagnosis or they get a symptom that pops up. And usually that's been brewing under the surface for quite some time. So if you're a healthy 20-year-old, let's say, if you started on this now, you could overcome any challenges or put your body in a better fighting position as anything came down the road. And for our athletes, especially our elite athletes, we have Olympians who are on this. We have Ironmen. It gives you the racer's edge. It allows you to perform at a higher function and recover faster. So you can run further, faster, longer, and recover and do it again. And so a lot of people love that. So, and especially with the cell performance products, the kids especially are loving it because they're all addicted to Monster drinks and Celsius and all those other energy drinks. Why not give your body a healthy version of that, right? So, yeah.
I think that's a really good recommendation for the 20-year-olds out there. Do what Maureen says, get started early, protecting your health before you lose it.
Yeah.
Maureen, tell us about why being impactful is important to you. You stated that in the very beginning.
My goal, you guys have probably heard it before. They talk about the dash, what was your life worth? Who did you touch? And I try to be impactful in everything I do, even if it's just, giving to different charities that speak to me, or if there's somebody with a need on the side of the road, helping that person. I try to look for ways to be of service to others every single day, and being impactful in a bigger way. What I love about this as a physician, When I was practicing medicine, I could only serve the person who was right in front of me. And there was a limit to how many people I could see in a day or how many people I could serve. With this, because what I'm doing is educating people, please don't misunderstand. You don't have to be a doctor, or a dentist, or a healthcare practitioner. You just have to be somebody who really cares about other people and wants to help other people. And, I tell people, when you share this, you're the educator, you're the messenger, not the message. If people don't want to hear it or they're not interested, that's okay. That's no reflection on you. Let it go. There are other people who are looking for it. But to me, to be able to tell somebody about this and change lives, and you wouldn't believe some of the stories that we hear about lives changed, to be able to do that and then have those people turn around and be able to share it with the people that they love and care about, it magnifies the influence I have or the service that I can do. It's like dropping a stone in a pond and having that ripple effect go out everywhere. I didn't expect this when I got started with this company. It had to do with my husband, who's also a physician, having a very big health challenge.
Mhm.
I was very cynical and skeptical because I was brought up as an allopathic physician. So, we're very dependent on medications and prescriptions and all. And so I thought this sounded too good to be true. But like I said, it's a biohack. And when I realized what it was doing for my husband and for a few other people that I offhandedly mentioned it to, I said, I have a responsibility to educate people and at least let them know it exists. What they do with that information is totally up to them. But I'm just going to be a voice. I'm going to plant my flag. I'm going to let people know there's a better way out there. And hopefully, they'll come to me and let me give them the information they need to make a good decision.
Well, we have about run out of time, but I don't want people to miss the opportunity to know how to get in touch with you, how to get in touch with the income opportunity to be a gangster or to be healthy beyond the years that they expected to live. So you can start them on a process. So how do they connect with you, and how do they get in touch with the product lines that are going to give them longer longevity?
Sure. Thank you, Bill. Probably the easiest way is to go to my website. It's pretty simple. It's Maureen Hayes, my name, maureenhayesmd.com. And I can put it in the chat. I think I put it in the chat earlier, so it's still showing there. That's my website. You can learn a little bit. There's a place where you can put some information in and I can give you a call. So definitely go do that. You can get educated about the products. You can order them, but if you'd like me to help make recommendations, I'm happy to do that depending on what your goals are. We can get you started. And if you'd like to be part of my Army for Good, please join us because it's my mission to help as many people over the next 6 to 12 months become what we call a thousandaire. That means having an extra $1,000 in their pocket, which is a 10 to 20% increase for most families. Why? Because we're going into some bad economic times right now. And $1,000 will help most families keep their head above water. So if that appeals to you, if good health and wellness appeal to you, please go to maureenhayesmd.com and connect with me. I'd love to chat with you and tell you more. Thank you,
Oh,
Bill.
thank you. Thank you for sharing that. What would you say about your experience on our show today?
Hey, I love it. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love to think of myself as an influencer. I hope that I've touched a few of you. I didn't even tell you any of the great stories we have, but if you're interested, we have websites where over 110 people have told how these products have changed their lives. So would love to share that. So please reach out. I'm here for you in any capacity that I can. Thank you so much, Bill.
Absolutely. I want to give you the final word to just one minute of your best information.
That's great. You know what, you guys? I'm on the medical professionals board for our company, and I just got back from being with all the other members at our headquarters. The company and the products that we have are cutting edge. They're life changing. They're breakthrough products. The only place that you can get them is from us. And they, like I said, they work at the cellular level. That may be a little heavy for you guys, but the benefits are that they let you live longer, younger. and look younger. And everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be healthier, or they get to a point where they want that very much. Come be a part of this. This is something new. You can be a part of our army, get the information out. Everybody's struggling out there, and we have a solution for them. So come be a part of the solution. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dr. Maureen Hayes, for joining us on the Influencers Podcast. I always enjoy talking to friends because I know where they're coming from, and we've been buddies for a long time. So I totally believe in what you're doing. What you're saying is true. And if you want opportunity in this day and age, this is one of the best I've ever seen. So I continue to take these products to keep myself healthy, and I recommend it to people to increase their income. So I'm on board. I'm on the team, and I do believe that Maureen is a great leader, which is the secret to her success. Is she's not just a believer, she's a leader. So thank you for being on the Influencers Podcast.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, thanks again, Bill. This has been awesome.
Thank you. Well, there you have Dr. Maureen Hayes, and she's joined us today, and I look forward, oh, she came back. Hey, we look forward to seeing her again, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next podcast, and just stay tuned. In a few minutes, we'll bring you another great podcast from Atlanta, Georgia, the Influencers Podcast with Dr. Bill Williams.